Hello and welcome. My name is Rose Smith and I'm here with your Pick a Card weekly tarot reading for the week commencing 22nd of July. Well, wow, have you been busy? Has it been full on? It's been full on for me, I can tell you. Anyway, it's very simple how this works. Just pick a number between 1 and 5. Don't think about it too much. First number that pops in your head, okay, just grab it. And if you can't decide, you can pick more than one number. That's okay. So I've shuffled up the tarot cards and we're going to go with number 1. Okay, if you've picked number 1, just about to start now, and a card jumps out and it is the Lovers card. Okay, this is great. This is fantastic. It does augur well for romance if you're interested in someone. This is sort of indicating that you've probably met somebody recently. If you haven't met somebody, there could be somebody coming very soon. But what it's about more than the actual physical relationship side of things, it's about integrating the energies that that other person represents. So deep down in your subconscious, there is an energy that is very similar to the person that we're talking about with this card. Okay, so, and actually it's not just one energy, there's probably multiple energies. Now, that's down in your subconscious, and because we all have this sort of propensity or this inclination deep within towards healing, Spirit wants that energy to come out of your subconscious and be in your consciousness so that you will have the power of the energy and all of the elements of that energy, they'll be under your control in your conscious mind, okay, not buried deep in your subconscious. This could be a person that is actually opposite to you in some ways. It might be a person that you're normally not attracted to, but there's just something particular about this person that's sort of magnetically attracting you, pulling you in. Now, you can see in this card, and look very closely there, they're sort of together, but it's a bit push me, pull you. They're sort of pushing away from each other, and yet they're together, joined at the hip almost, in spirit, so to speak. And see above there's an angel there looking down over the whole of the proceedings, watching what's going on, okay? So it's very, this is a major arcana, very important to you. It's likely that, you know, this could be on, off for some considerable time. And at some point, you're going to have to make a decision which way you want to go and what you want to do if you want to get it up to a committed relationship on a sort of full level. So that's card number 1. Now, card number 2. Let's go with that. Card number 2. Card number 2 for the week commencing 22nd of July 2019, and we come up with the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords. Righty, this is fantastic. This is great for starting something new. And it's something that you're thinking about, something involving planning, decision-making, strategy. If you're thinking of a small business or some sort of project, this is a fantastic energy for starting a small business. Great for marketing, great for promotion, anything new that you've got to start. But see the sword there, that's all about your ability to dissect and analyze situations and to cut out what you don't need. So if you're in business, you've got to make a lot of decisions, and if you get the decisions wrong, it's going to cost you your time, your energy and your money, most probably. So it's really important to really have all your mental faculties working properly and be able to cut out the things that are superfluous to your needs in business. It could be a new project of some description, but it's something involving thinking, okay? The only danger with this card is that you could possibly overthink something and be second guessing yourself because you're not sure, and you just keep going and over and over and over like a treadmill, you know, when perhaps at night you should be sleeping and you've got these racing thoughts running around in your mind. And so that's not good. So you need to get the right balance of emotions, feeling your emotions, feeling the fiery inspiration of spirit, what your heart is trying to tell you, taking action steps and thinking appropriately. But great for new things. Could even be a new relationship with someone that you're thinking a lot about. But again, don't overthink. Okay, that's the only proviso. Often people say about swords, the Suit of Swords, that, you know, it's the most negative of all the suites in the tarot. I don't really see it that way, because to me it's very necessary. If you are dealing with money, you go shopping, you're working, something like that, you really need to be thinking properly. So I don't see any Suit of Swords as less or more than any others. I think they're all valid and all very important. Okay, let's go with card number 3. Card number 3 for the week commencing 22nd of July 2019, and this one stuck to my fingers. It didn't want to come out of the deck, but I got it. Okay, this is the Hangman. This is not a bad card. Sometimes people look at that image and you go, oh, and they sort of freak out, you know, thinking it's sort of representing some kind of death. I guess in a sense it is a representation of death if you're a very active person who likes to be organised and doing things all the time. You're probably not going to like this card very much, because this card is about waiting for something. It's delays, it's, you know, and it appears like it's delays, but on a spiritual level it's actually not delays, it's preparation. So this is the card when you're 9 months pregnant, about to give birth, and you know you are going to go any day, but you're still waiting. The baby's coming, but there's just this last little bit that you have to wait before the baby gets here. And if you think of in numerology, the numbers 1 to 9 going through the cycle, and then there's this number called 0. So this card is like 0, where you're in limbo waiting. You're not born, you're not dead, you're in some in-between space while you wait for something major to happen. And it could be anything. It could be waiting for a job promotion, waiting to change your work, waiting for a new relationship, waiting to get out of a relationship, waiting to get into a relationship. It can be about anything, but that's the thing, anything you've got to wait. Now, if you are waiting, W-A-I-T-I-N-G, please be careful that you don't wait, W-E-I-G-H-T, because sometimes when we're sitting around trying to be patiently waiting for something, we can actually put on weight, because it's a combination of things. Might be boredom, it might just be the frustration from, you know, obstacles and delays in what we want to do, and we can't actually do it. I'm just going to put that down a little bit there so you can see me more. That's better. The fairies, the elves came into the studio here and adjusted everything, and I was running late from doing all these things this morning, and of course the camera's not right. Okay, so waiting around, and but it's only for a time. You're not waiting forever. It's not like you're in purgatory waiting, you know, forever. It's going to happen, and it'll happen when the time is right, when all of the little ducks line up and everything's in a row. It may not just be about you. It could be involving other people, and you don't know what their circumstances are, and that's one of the reasons for waiting. So, card number 3. Let's look at card number 4. Card number 4 for the week commencing 22nd July 2019. Okay, now I'm stuck on this card number 3 still, When I close my eyes here, I've got paddle pops and sort of rubbish foods, chips. I think in the States you call them crisps. It's really hard for me to say, crisps. You know, this sort of rubbish food. So if you are delayed, pay special attention to your diet, that you only eat healthy foods, because eating rubbish foods could actually make it take longer, because you're not putting that sort of energy into your body to move things along. You could get constipated. So, you know, you want leafy green vegetables and good wholesome food. Try to steer clear of the heavier foods like meat, pasta and rice. Maybe, you know, only have that occasionally type of thing. Because you want things that go into your system and come out of your system really quickly. And of course 8 glasses of water a day, because this WAITING really in your subconscious sounds the same and looks the same as WEIGHT. And if you're carrying a bit of extra padding, that's all it is energy to do something that you haven't been able to do. So your body's sort of putting that weight on, waiting for the right time to do whatever it is that you've been putting off, or you haven't. It might be external circumstances, it might not even be you, but you haven't been able to do it for some reason, and then, you know, we can very easily put on weight. All right, I think that's all they want me to say. Somebody's going like that to me, so yes. Okay, so we're up to card number 4 for the week commencing 22nd of July 2019, and we come up with the Page of Swords. So another card indicating cognition, mental ability. Think and use your brain, but don't overdo it. So we've got 2 swords and 2 major arcana for the week so far. So the Page of Swords, quick flashes coming into your mind, flashes of brilliance, good news, you know, thoughts that are unique and original. Very, what's that there in the background? It looks like a little angel. And it is birds, okay, not a little angel. It's a flock of 4 birds and then a separate bird in the background. I'll put that right up. See, that's separate birds, 2 separate birds there. Oh no, sorry, 4 birds there in the corner and then 1 bird in the other corner. Okay, so birds flying high, looking at the big picture. Don't get stuck in the technical detail at the grassroots level. Take the big picture so that you can look into the future, so to speak. You can see more and perceive more looking at the big picture. If you're working in your own business, if you possibly can, get someone to look after the grassroots work so you don't have to concern yourself with tedious sort of details, because tedious details can actually bring you down. Your time is better spent you know, organising and taking a big picture view for the direction of your business, and looking at concepts, overall concepts for marketing and promotions and things like that. But this applies to, you know, everybody, not just those in business. It could be in your normal everyday life where you need to take a bigger point of view. So it's a very useful card, and you know, if you just allow your mind to be open a little bit more, you'll get another view. Maybe talk to some people that you think are quite intelligent and that like to think a lot. They'll be able to help you out if, you know, you don't feel that cognition is your strong point. And, you know, even if you are really brilliant and intelligent, it's always helpful to talk to other people to get new ideas. Sometimes you can talk to someone and they've just got this magical ability for common sense, and they say something that's just amazingly the answer. It's like out of the mouths of babes. Even your children, if you have children, would be able to help you out in some way, because they cut through all of the rubbish, or, you know, in the case of children, they just might not know. And you get to the core of the issue, the core of the problem that you can then set about rectifying. So this is a great card, card number 4. Now let's look at card number 5. And actually one is poking out of the pack, and you won't believe it, but it's another swords. It's the 4 of Swords. Okay, the 4 of Swords. Now with this one, again, I mentioned before, the issue is in overthinking. You can see this woman, she's asleep, she's unconscious, and she's levitating. Okay, so while there is a place and a time for that, we don't want to, have our everyday life being interrupted by levitation, because you just don't get much done, do you, if you're levitating all the time? So be careful of, fantasy sorts of things, thoughts that come into your mind that are not based in, physical reality. It's okay to have those thoughts, but you need to keep it in balance, with practicality. And there are so many swords around this week. Even if you didn't pick a card that's related to swords, it is easy just to get caught up in your head and, float off with the fairies. All right, let's have a little look closer here. There's a large bird in the background, and it's sitting on top of a clock. And so timing is of the essence. But it does look like that bird in the background, it's really hard to see because it's brown on a dark background. So that is actually a bird, not a bat. It looks like some sort of hawk. And that's a clock against that it's in front of. Okay, so it's all about timing. At the right time, things will happen. And 4s are usually about, working and being organised and structured. But when she's levitating like that, she's off with the fairies. So, take note of your fantasy thoughts and the things that are not real, and maybe write everything down in a journal, but keep your feet flat on the ground. All right, that's card number 5. Now, let me just have a little look here, and I'll see what I can see for the week commencing 22nd of July 2019. All right, so I've got a man here playing a fiddle or a violin. I don't know the difference, I'm not very up with musical instruments. But there's an audience, and there's a lot of trumpets in the audience, people with trumpets in the audience. It's got a very kind of apocalyptic kind of feel, but it's not set in ancient times, it's in more modern times. This man's playing a fiddle. It reminds me then of, I think it was Nero fiddled while Rome burned. So you could be coming to the end of something, and I feel this is not maybe so much for the individual, but it's more for the collective, because especially here on YouTube, I have a lot of people viewing these videos from different countries. And so I feel this is about the collective. We're coming to the end of an age, and there's a new age beginning. And of course, those of you that are interested in astrology will know that the age of Aquarius has begun. But still, before that, the previous age is still kind of there, the remnants. It's the remnants that are hanging on. And so those old things of the past are going to pass away, and we'll move, fully into the age of Aquarius. There's different schools of thought about when the age of Aquarius actually started. Some people say as early as 1968. Some people say 2012. Some people say in the 90s, the 1990s. But considering that an age actually lasts 2,160 years, we're in very, very early days of the age of Aquarius, so there are still remnants of the old structures, that Capricornian sort of thing hanging around. So it's like something's coming to an end, something's about to start, and that sort of fits in with the hangman waiting around. If you are at the end of something, know that something new is coming to replace it. So try to, be as calm as you can. Don't repress your feelings. Allow your feelings up, but channel them in a healthy way. Maybe write them down in a journal or talk to someone you can trust to get your feelings out. Alrighty. Okay, thanks so much for tuning in. I do hope that you found this week helpful. It's gone a slightly different way to what I would have thought, but lucky I never have any preconceived ideas when I do these live streams, because I just go with what I see spiritually. And, it's like watching a movie. I never know what the plot line is or what's going to happen. So anyway, but I'd like to wish you a very happy week. And also, if you've, found this helpful in any way, please give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, share this video on your channel or with your friends on other social media, especially Facebook. We're very active on Facebook. Absolute Soul Secrets, just look it up. Anyway, have a wonderful week, and I shall see you again next Monday. Please check out my latest video, Perceive or Be Deceived. I've just put it up half an hour ago, and it's all about getting in touch with all your faculties so you can perceive properly what's going on around you. Okay, thanks again, and bye for now.
Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.